What's going on, people? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Yan, and I do hope you are all doing well today, man. I really do hope that. And welcome back to Chelsea News, the daily series here on Football Therapy, where I look across what's happening in the media regarding Chelsea Football Club, consolidate all information and put it into a neat package, present it to you, the viewer, offer you my opinion, but hey, more importantly, ask for yours down in the comments section below. And it's been a wild ride this season, boys and girls. We've got there, we've qualified for European glory, we're in a domestic cup final, the FA Cup, the best domestic cup competition in the world. Hell, Chelsea are looking good, baby. We've got more superstars coming in, we might sign even more. It's just an excellent time. We've got Super Frankie Lampard at the helm, learning as he goes, but doing the right thing and knowing what Chelsea is all about. You love to see it. Oh yeah, if you enjoy daily Chelsea Football Club related content, I urge you there to subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already. Takes a second, and if you do, please do click that bell notifications icon because it's really important. And if you want to help me out, and that would be really nice, please do drop a like on this video. Thank you very much, mate. Alright then, let's get into it. So yeah, man, this Chelsea news video I really want to talk about, well, the headlines are reflecting on what happened yesterday, Chelsea's qualification, and you know, what it means for Pedro and other players, and I want to talk about a few things like that and just get into it and have a lovely time. First off, we've got to give a shout out to Pedro Rodriguez, someone who's been so good for Chelsea Football Club. He hasn't been like the biggest Galactico star, but he came from Barcelona. He's got a ridiculous amount of trophies. He's such an industrious hard worker on the pitch. You know, loads of coaches have used him and fancied him over the years, different coaches. He's just been superb for Chelsea, scored some wonder goals, most notably against Tottenham, and has just been an excellent high-class quality player, but also doesn't require the spotlight, is happy to work hard, is a great professional example to all the youths. Apparently in the changing room yesterday, they were all singing his name, which is a lovely thing. Frank Lampard, in his post-match press conference, even though he was not asked about Pedro, he made sure to put some comments on his name and say, you know, what a great career, what a great servant, big up Pedro Rodriguez. So I think it's important we all as Chelsea fans sort of respect what he's done for the club. He's actually got like a relatively strong ratio for goal involvements per minute for the type of winger he is. He's been great. He's off to Roma obviously, so I'll keep a little eye on him. Hopefully he scores some goals, and I'm pleased he's playing at a high level still and he's not just going to China or MLS. So big up the little Spaniard. The drama at that game did not end there. Of course, we did qualify for Champions League football, but new Chelsea Football Club Gunman was up in the stands watching Chelsea, and I'm pleased we put on a good performance for him. I think the first game Hakim Ziyech watched was that 1-0 win against Norwich. He must have been hella bored, but at least Timo Werner came to Stamford Bridge. We probably knows of Wolves being a strong team. Obviously they've come up, they're playing in Europe now, and they're high up the Premier League table. I'm sure he knows they've got good players as well. This game could have gone any way. Timo Werner will know that he'll probably be playing in a 4-3-3 mainly next season, so it might have been interesting for the young German striker to see Chelsea play so well in a 3-4-3 formation where Mason Mount scored a lovely free kick. Olivier Giroud scored an excellent centre-forwards goal. That's the kind of thing a striker like Timo Werner wants to see in the stands. Ooh, this is what I'm going to be dealing with, man. If I do play up top with another striker, maybe if I do play on the left, now and again, I can be playing off this guy, bouncing balls off him. He can be finishing off chances like that. I like it. I'm excited. Oh my word, they've won 2-0. My team, my new home, as he's called Stamford Bridge. This is a place of Champions League football. So, even though I'm a little bit hungover, I've woken up feeling incredibly good about my football club at Chelsea. Another notable thing about yesterday's game is, of course, Willy Caballero started in goal and played very well. I spoke about it in the match review, but you have to pose the question now. Will we ever see Kepa Arrizabalaga again in a Chelsea shirt at least? I'm not so sure, man. Frank Lampard was of course asked about this in his post-match presser, and rather than, you know, perhaps jumping to the defence overly of Kepa, which he's not necessarily inclined to do or obligated to do, he was like, I'm not going to talk about individual performances, and he also kind of implied that, you know, recent form and this and that has dictated who I'd picked. Which pretty much is saying, yes, Kepa has been bad, so I've picked Willy Caballero in goal. which has to insinuate he's not going to start Kepa in the FA Cup final. Who knows, maybe he starts in Bayern Munich because it's a bit of a dead rubber. Although, I don't know, maybe if he does that, Chelsea score 2 early goals and Kepa does a howler away in the Allianz Arena, he'll be like, God darn, I should have started Willie in goal. Fact of the matter is, I'm pretty sure that's the last we've seen of Kepa. Because I think even next season, you can't have a £72 million goalkeeper as your number 2. We've got to try and loan him out. We've got to try and get his wages off the book. We've got to bring in a new goalkeeper. And to be honest, man, that may well be next on the agenda. It's such a big problem position for us. If you look at how many points it's cost us, if you look at his save percentage, probably is more important than a left back. To be honest, man, the way Chelsea are playing, granted with 3 centre-halves, but there's been better centre-back performances. I've always maintained here on Football Therapy that Chelsea don't have dreadful centre-halves. They defend badly as a team and they've got bad chemistry, bad partnerships between the centre-backs. Frank Lampard said this also in his press conference yesterday. Look, it's not down to a player or the goalkeeper, which is important that he said, look, we haven't been shipping X amount of goals solely because of Kepa. And in that press conference, he admitted a lot. He admitted like personal faults that he needs to address, this, that and the other. Like the fact how Chelsea are just a growing thing, you know, early doors, in its infancy, this project. And it's important Frank recognises that. Anyway, I digress slightly. He didn't want to blame it just on the goalkeeper, as he shouldn't just on the centre-halves. It's a collective failure. But looking at the centre-backs and left-back, which is a pretty big problem position, I'd argue at the moment, the biggest problem position is goalkeeper. Now, of course, Chelsea have been linked with a bunch of goalkeepers. The dream is Jan Oblak, the superstar, but how realistic that is, I'm not so sure. I think, obviously, Diego Simeone and his assistant have mentioned how Chelsea are interested, or they think they're interested, whether that's just them reading the media, or perhaps there's been some form of informal contact. They don't sound too keen on letting him go, but maybe Chelsea smell blood there and smell an opportunity to get Jan Oblak out of Atletico Madrid. Who knows, Chelsea have been quite sneaky. Whether they'd want Kepa back the other way, I highly doubt that. Still, we can dream, man, but of course there's the more likely options of Andre Onana, who's been pretty much guaranteed he can leave Ajax. He'll be affordable. And Chelsea can chase, you know, Dean Henderson and Nick Pope all they want, but they'll be much more difficult to acquire, in my opinion, and most probably more expensive. So we'll see what happens, but I'll of course keep you guys updated on what happens with the goalkeeping situation at Chelsea with daily news videos here on Football Therapy. So make sure you're subscribed and of course stay tuned. Right, so another exciting factor about this qualification is what certain journalists are saying about the Kai Havertz deal. Christian Falk tweeted out yesterday that now Chelsea have qualified, it's just accelerated the negotiations with Kai Havertz and his representatives, and now Chelsea will not be playing in Europa League. They'll be more likely to sign the player quicker, which is exciting. I found it difficult to believe personally that Chelsea's qualification was the deciding factor for Kai Havertz, because we heard that perhaps it wasn't going to be. And trying to think from the player's perspective, if he's truly interested in doing the jump of clubs and joining a new exciting project, a year out of the Champions League shouldn't be, you know, the be-all or end-all, especially when you're playing for a club that you don't think's, you know, automatically going to win it. Still, regardless, this is all positive news. Hopefully he does sign soon. Now, of course, like I was saying in the aforementioned part of this video, this isn't necessarily the biggest problem position, but this is a huge piece of was his Chelsea being opportunistic. Kai Havertz is a generational talent midfielder slash forward. He wants to play in an attacking 8 role. He suits Frank Lampard's idea very, very well. I think you'll see the likes of N'Golo Kante perhaps staying back as a CDM with the likes of Billy Gilmour, Jorginho or Kovacic. Right, you know, the right number 8 spot, that will be Kai Havertz. The left number 8 spot, you know, it could be Mason. It's very difficult to see Mason Mount getting dropped out of Frank Lampard's team after the season he's had, after, you know, evidently being such an important player for Frank Lampard. But you've got Ruben Loftus-Cheek, you've got so many players, but the truth is the front three will consist of Christian Pulisic on the left wing. It will consist of Timo Werner up front playing striker. And to complete that front three, it will be Hakim Ziyech on the right wing. So Chelsea are going to have such a ridiculous front 4-5 in terms of quality. You know, the bookmakers have got to put them right up there in terms of their outsiders to win the Premier League. I know it's crazy, but if they sign a goalkeeper, a centre-half and a left-back, Who knows? Anyway, like the goalkeeping situation, I'll keep you guys updated with this, but it does look like there'll be an accelerated process now Chelsea have qualified. Frank Lampard also commented on the financial elements of qualifying for the Champions League in his post-match presser, saying, look, financially it can help us. Yes, I did say before, and he's reiterating that this helps us in terms of what we want to do. Whether it's 50 million plus, maybe a little bit more to the transfer kitty, it means yes, you can get Kai because you can afford to spend 80 million and still get defenders. Do you know what I mean? Chelsea are very, very good with looking after their finances generally. Marina Granovskaya at the helm. She does everything right, so it's time to get excited. Anyway, what do you guys think about the stories I've spoken about today? Get down in the comment section below. Express yourselves on Pedro, Timo, Kai, the defence, Kepa, Balaga, incoming or potential goalkeepers. I want to hear it. I'll be reading down in the comment section below. If you've enjoyed the video, please do drop a like. That helps me out a lot. Subscribe to Football Therapy if you're new, and if you want more content from me that is non-football related, consider subscribing to Jan's Yard, my other channel where I do more personal vlog style videos. That's it from me, you lot. Enjoy the football, and I'll see you later.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought. Body bag the verse, outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double. Silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble. I only love this paper, sorry I don't. I laugh me baby.